I think it was a smart move to do, because suddenly, we're in 137 countries. So I have these 3 restaurants, and now we've just opened our 3rd pump in West Hollywood, and I have Sir, which Vanderpump Rules is kind of largely about. That's a show that I produce that's on Monday nights, and it's a 3rd season. And Housewives, centred quite a lot around Villa Blanca. So, yes, I think it was beneficial for that. We get a lot of people from, all over the country and all over the world, really. So, absolutely, yeah, it was a good move for that.
You've also embraced a career that includes fashion.
Yes.
And jewelry.
Yes.
Tell us about the jewelry line.
Well, the jewellery line, I've always been passionate about jewellery, and then, being on reality television, you need so much more, and you need statement pieces that read really well on camera. So I became obsessed with, fashionable jewellery rather than real pieces, and built up this huge collection. I think a lot of people are very familiar with my closet, and it's got like a smorgasbord of kind of pieces, of vintage jewellery and all kinds of jewellery. And I thought, wow, I would love to copy this. And Evine, which has just launched, on NBC, their shopping network, said to me, what do you think? Would you like to do this? The challenge was to make it affordable, because you can copy anything and make it as beautiful, but to make it affordable, to get things, everything was under $100. And to get great pieces, $45 and things. And yes, it sold out, did very well. We just launched it. And I think Evine, they're giving me a chance to actually explore what I want to do.
Let's talk a little bit about the business of what you'd like to do, because you mentioned jewelry.
Oh, there's so many things.
Would you like to have your own line? Let's say if you walked into a big department store and saw the whole line of housewares?
Yes, I've started that. I started doing a tabletop collection. Obviously, that was a natural kind of segue for me, because I've always been about entertaining and ambiance, and our restaurants are very ambiance-driven as well. I love the beauty, but unfortunately, you can't kind of use that in a restaurant all the time, because, the cost of plates and things like that. But for my homeware collection, which I launched last year on Pop Culture Living, it's done really well. And again, trying to keep the price down, trying to keep things affordable, that's the most important thing. But about the beauty of laying a table and making things, and that effort, I think really people do appreciate when you invite somebody into your home. You can cook very simply. But make things beautiful, put those rose petals, put those votives, make sure the lighting and the ambiance, because people feel more relaxed then, and people also really, really appreciate it.
Describe a little bit about the new restaurant that's just opened in Los Angeles, because I believe it has olive trees, where there was once an asphalt parking lot.
Well, thank you for saying that, because I think a lot of people tear down kind of gardens and create parking lots, and we did the exact opposite. It was a nightmare to get all the permissions. I was on the board of the Chamber of Commerce. I thought that would help me. At West Hollywood, it didn't. We literally struggled for a year to get our permissions to change a parking lot into a restaurant. But now it's a focal, corner of West Hollywood, and it really does look beautiful. It's got majestic gates, and it's got 900-year olive trees, so you can dine under the olive trees. Pump. It was initially intended to be a gay restaurant, because I was in the middle of Boys Town, and it's kind of shifted a little bit, that I would say it's 70-30, because I'm a huge gay advocate and spokesperson for GLAAD.
Or when you were presented with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, what was your first reaction?
Well, I was first asked, and I thought, oh, no, it's not for me. So I actually went in very late at casting, because they'd approached me a couple of times. Had a very high-profile restaurant in Beverly Hills and lived in a high-profile gated community. So I was a kind of natural, selection for the Housewives. And I said, oh, no, that's not for me. And then they asked me again, and I said, no, I just don't think so, because I'd seen one or two, and it seemed there were too many altercations, and I thought, that's so not me. I think my children can actually say they grew up never hearing an argument in our house. I was always very about, our house is our sanctuary, and I thought, oh, no, it's just too volatile. And then I went in, right at the end. It was Robert Kovacic, from NBC, who took me in. He said, go in there. And he stood outside while I did the screen test. And they came to me and said, what do you think? And I thought, I'm going to enter with trepidation. But I said, as long as I can leave with the same integrity that I came into this with, and as long as you show an accurate portrayal of me, and then I'm happy. You can follow me 24 hours a day. So that's what, 160 episodes later.
We wanted to learn more about Lisa Vanderpump, and she spoke of some of the people she admires.
Gosh, That's a difficult question. I think when I look at Elizabeth Taylor, and that's mainly, I suppose, because I saw how she stood up, you know, for the gay community, and she put herself out there when she really didn't have any support at the time, and she said no, you know, same as Princess Diana. I mean, she was the first. That was one of the first images of a woman sitting on a bed holding a person's hand, a victim of this insidious disease, and not caring, not, you know, whereas everybody else was, oh, they're wearing gloves and they're wearing masks. So I think those two women.
Other than watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, what do you watch on television?
I don't watch too much. I'm on the treadmill, normally in the morning, and I try and watch the news because I try to have a modicum of, you know, kind of really, I want to know, you know, what's going on in the world.